Moving on to the recovery question of the day. My wife continues to use after multiple relapses. What should I do? This is a very personal question, and I can see the pain involved in this question. I want to talk to you about something very important, and that is track record. What we know about people is their track record. Now, that doesn't mean that people can't change and turn over a new leaf and start a new life. But then again, that would just change and transform their track record. So the reality is that people usually do what they have currently been doing. And you can thoroughly expect for people to do the same. Now, unless they change their life and develop a different track record, one of reliability, one of change, then they would communicate to you something different. But the reality is that people do what they have currently been doing. And so your wife, who continually relapses, probably continually going into treatment programs, that is what she's going to continue to do. Now, unless you begin to change your mindset and begin to behave in a different manner, you're going to go ahead and get the same results that you have been getting. And so you may have been put your foot down. You may have said, you know what, I'm not going to tolerate this. And the boundary line has been crossed repeatedly. And so your endeavors and your boundaries are not being met. And so the reality is that that's what's going to continue. And so only tough love is going to really change the situation. If you listen to the first part of this episode where I talked about don't do for others what they can and should do for themselves, this situation plays in here because you probably love your wife and you want her to be healthy and all of these different things. But the reality is that you are part of the problem. And that is that you have enabled the situation and you have caused and allowed the situation to take place. And we do this under the guise of love. Well, I just love her so much. Well, you're loving her to death. And that is that the situation that you're in is not going to get any better until you remove yourself from the situation. And that is that you are no longer part of her equation. And that's important to hit bottom. You know, as long as there is an enabler, as long as there is somebody to cushion my fall, as long as there's somebody to be there to love me, right? They're going to go ahead and continue the same behaviors that they have been doing. And so this takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of umption. But you need to remove yourself from the equation. And that is if you're getting her out of the house and even you can help her move. Move right into some bedroom somewhere, some apartment, whatever. But the situation has to change because you are going to love her to death. And you need to put your foot down in a very strong manner this time and show that you mean business. And stop being that the weak man. God wants you to rise up and to be strong.